हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। दिस इज सीए राखी अग्रवाल। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है टैक्स ऑडिट सीरीज, फॉर्म 3CD, पार्ट बी, क्लॉज 16। So let's start our topic. In clause 16, what it says, amount not credited to the profit and loss account. If the amount is not credited to the profit and loss account, then what happened? A requirement. These clause require auditor to report item listed in subclause A to E as mentioned below regarding the items not credited to the profit and loss account. It could imply that reporting should be based on two distinct situations. Reporting can be based on two different situations: not credited the said item to the profit and loss account and also omitted from the books of accounts. Under this situation, auditor is required to obtain written representation with respect to all the items under these clause and also the reason for not crediting the same. Crediting the said items in the books of accounts but not to the profit and loss account. If the auditor do the audit and find any of the amount which is not credited to the profit and loss account, it should be reported. It should be reported in the tax audit report in clause 16 if the amount received by the assessee but it is not credited to the PL account. How it is done? If the amount not credited to the PL account and also omitted from the books of account, but during the observation the auditor find that there is an income which is not credited to the PL account and it is also not shown in the books of accounts, then auditor should take a written representation with respect to that income, that item which is not credited, also the reason why it is not credited in the books of accounts. So under this situation, the auditor is required to obtain written representation of all the items under this clause and also the reason for not crediting the same. And crediting the said items in if the amount is credited but not shown in the profit and loss account, then also it should be reported in clause 16 of the tax audit report form 3CD. Now clause 16A, the item falling within the scope of section 28. What was the item falling within the scope of section 20, business income? So it should be ensured that all the item falling within section 28 only which have not been credited to the profit and loss account are reported here. Only which the income which is related to the business income, item which is falling under section 28. Under the definition of section 28, the income from business and profession. So that item, if it is not credited to PL account, only that item is reported in form 3CD clause 16A. These there are all the income from business and profession. So auditor should scrutinize all credit items so as to ensure that such items are either properly accounted in the books of accounts or else they are reported. Means auditor should, during the audit, the auditor should verify and ensure that all the items are properly credited in the books of accounts and properly accounted for. If not accounted, then it should be reported in form 3CD clause 16. Now clause 16B, specific claims. Under this section, the details of the following claims, if admitted as due by the concerned authority but not credited to the profit and loss account are to be stated. Like if any of the items which are due to the entity but that item insured by the entity that they will receive in future, but the income is not credited to the profit and loss account, are also like pro forma credits, drawbacks, refund of duty of custom. What intimation is got by the entity but refund is not yet received, so there is an assurity that they will receive the income but not credited to the PL account. So refund of duty of custom, refund of excise duty, refund of service tax, refund of sales tax or VAT duty. So that are the specific claims. If admitted by the concerned authority, that income tax department or service tax department or value added tax or sales tax or custom duty, they admitted but not credited to the PL account, then also it should be stated in clause 16b. The auditor should scrutinize the relevant files, regulators' websites, if the details are available thereon, or subsequent records relating to such refunds while verifying the particulars, and also obtain an appropriate management representation. So, while doing this, auditor should verify the proper relevant files and regulator websites, and also take a management representation for recording that refund subsequently. Only the amount admitted by the authority within the relevant previous year is to be reported. Only what amount is admitted by the authority, only that much amount is to be reported. Now, in case assessee is following cash system of accounting, it should be clearly brought out as admitted amount would not be disclosed here. So in cash system, when only they receive, they book the account. But in mercantile system, as an when it accrues, it should be shown in the profit and loss account. So the schema available on ITD websites also include GST. However, as the same has not yet been duly notified by CBDT, hence the same may not be reported. Now, is still GST is not reported because it is not notified by the Central Board of Direct Tax. Its schema has includes the GST. So, clause 16, see what it says. Escalation claims accepted during the previous year. Under these clause, the escalation claim accepted during the previous year but not credited to the profit and loss account should be stated. Escalation claim would normally arise pursuant to a contract, including contract entered into in earlier years. If so permitted by contract and other parties has signed unconditional acceptance could constitute accepted claims. So what it says that if any escalation claim accepted during the year, what the escalation claims under these clause, escalation claim accepted during the previous year, if any escalation claim is accepted by the authority but not credited to the profit and loss account, it also stated. Escalation claim would normally arise when it arises due to the pursuant. If any contract is there, then only the escalation claim arises, including the contract entered into the earlier years. This arises only when with the permission of the by the contract and other party has signified unconditional acceptance could constitute. Clause 16d, what it says, any other items of income. These clause cover any other item which is in income of the assessee based on his verification of books, records and other documents and information gathered but which has not been credited to the profit and loss account. It should disclose any items other than taxable under section 28 as the same is reportable as clause 16a. In the given details under subclause C and D, due regards should be given to AS 9 revenue recognition, Ind AS 115 revenue from contract with customers. So any other items of income if not credited to the PL account means any income which is an income of the assessee based on the verification done by the auditor in the books and records and other documents and information gathered. But that income is not credited to the profit and loss account. Then it should disclose item taxable under section 28 and the same is reportable at clause 16a. In giving the details under subclause C and D, due regard should be given to AS 9, that is revenue recognition, or Ind AS 115 revenue from contract with customers. Transactions which are not accounted for in the books of accounts which are being audited should not be reported here. Which the transactions which are not yet accounted in the books of accounts which are audited by the auditor and should not be reported here. So clause 16e, what it says, capital receipts if any. The purpose of these clause is to inform the tax authority about various capital receipts which have not been credited to the profit and loss account so that they can determine whether such receipts are taxable or not whether the SC has offered such receipts for taxation if taxable. Means if any income is received due to the capital receipt, but it is not booked in the books of accounts, it is not shown in the profit and loss account, but during verification the auditor find that such receipts are taxable which is not booked in the PL account, so it should be reported here, and ASRI should offer such receipts for taxation if taxable. Certain items which are capital receipt if not credited to the statement of PL account which should be reported in this clause are profit on sale of PPE, profit on sale of investments, receipts of non-refundable deposits, features of deposits, compensation for surrendering certain rights, government grants in the nature of promoters or contribution, equities, loans, borrowing should not be stated under this clause. So, if the any item which is of capital receipts, which is accrued to the SC but not credited to the profit and loss account, like if any PPE is sold and profit arises on that, investment is sold and profit arises due to that, non-refundable deposits received from non-refundable deposits, forfeitures of deposits, compensation for surrendering certain rights, government grants in the nature of promoters' contribution, if that amount is received and if it is not credited to the profit and loss account, it should be reported in clause 16E as capital receipt not credited to the PL account. So, in these, equity, loan and borrowing should not be stated. If you receive any equity, if you receive any loan, if you receive any borrowing, that should not be stated. Amount not credited to profit and loss account being the item falling within the scope of section 28. If any item is falling within section 28, then you have to add details, description and amount. If there is the amount which is not credited to PL account related to section 28, within the scope of section 28, the nature of the item which is not credited to PL and the amount of, which is not credited. If the performer credit, drawback, refund of duty of custom or excise or service tax or refund of sales tax or value added tax or GST. GST is also included in schema. Such credits, drawbacks or refunds are admitted as due by the authority concerned. Means the refund has been due but not yet received, not credited to PL account. So it should be reported here. Which kind of, whether it's a pro forma credit or refund of custom duty, excise service tax, which kind of refund it is and up to what amount. It should be disclosed here. Escalation came accepted during the previous year, you have to add here what kind of escalation and amount. Any other item which is not credited to PL account, it should be due but not credited to PL account or not reflected in the books of accounts. While doing audit, it should be verified by the auditor, then it should be reported here. And if any capital receipt like sale of plant machineries, investment which is not credited to the PL account, it should be reported here. So this is the clause 16 of form 3C. I hope I make you understand. Thanking you for watching my video. If you like, please share, subscribe.